Welcome back guys to another video, and today we're going to talk about my concerns that I have with Tether. So if you don't know, Tether is a sort of a stable coin, and for every $1 that you want to invest in Tether, you get 1 Tether back. So it always has 1-to-1 ratio with US dollars. But in my opinion, Tether is actually a lot worse than US dollars because of the inflation which I'm going to show you a little bit later on. So a few days ago, Tether decided to print another $250 million worth of Tether, so 250 millions of Tether tokens. And that happened without any notice or without anything. They just decided to print $250 million worth of Tether. And how did market respond to that? Of course, the prices went up, because when there is so much more of the new Tether in circulation, you can buy so many more coins at a higher price. So the only people that are getting rich out of all of this are the Tether creators, and there are a lot of concerns currently happening inside the cryptocurrency community. Now, if Tether would have maybe a limit of 1 billion Tether tokens, then that wouldn't be such a huge problem. But they surpassed that limit and even 2 billion Tether tokens limit, and they're just continuing to print those new Tether tokens. I actually never bought Tether, and I never will invest my Bitcoins or my Litecoins or any other coins into Tether just for exchange, because I don't believe in Tether and one day Tether will collapse. Now, it might look a great idea to just tether up when Bitcoin is really high, and the moment Bitcoin starts dropping, you just exchange all of your Bitcoins for Tethers and then wait for Bitcoin to drop and just rebuy more Bitcoins with the same amount of dollars that you had before. But everything that sounds so great, it is actually not so great, because the moment that Tether starts collapsing, it is not going to be a slow collapse. It is not going to start losing 1% today. It will just collapse and you will actually lose everything that you have in Tether. And why do I think that Tether is actually worse than US dollars, and that nobody should at any point in the time invest into Tether, even if you can make a lot more money that way? Because if you go to CoinMarketCap, you can see that Tether is actually second coin by the volume. So it had $2.6 billion worth of volume in the last 24 hours. But the thing that worries me the most is if you go to the Tether, if you click on it, you can see that over here in November of 2016, there was total of $7 million worth of Tether. So 7 million Tether tokens. But not even a year later, over here you can see that there was actually $700 million worth of Tether. So they printed 100 times more Tether than there was not even a year ago. And this problem is just continuing to rise and rise, and you can see that right now there is $2.5 billion worth of Tether. So US dollar has about 2% inflation per year, but Tether had 10,000% inflation just in 1 year, and that is not sustainable. And if you decide to invest your valuable Bitcoins, which are the most valuable coin in the market, into Tether, they just decided to print 100 times more Tether than there was 1 year ago, then why would you even want to do that? I don't understand people. And I don't understand people that say that Tether is great, that they are making a lot of money on it. Of course, you're making a lot of money on it, but they just are printing this Tether more and more every single day. Well, not actually every single day, but almost every single month. And this problem will just continue to get bigger and bigger until the collapse comes. I would rather just have my money in US dollars, even though I hate that. I hate US dollars. I hate fiat currencies because I think that they are not a good investment, and I don't want to have my money in fiat. But Tether is even worse than that, and I don't tell anybody to invest in Tether. So if we go over here to Omni Explorer, you can actually see when they decided to print Tether and how much Tether was printed. So over here, just a few days ago, you can see that they printed $250 million worth of Tether out of nowhere, and just like 2 months ago, they printed another $300 million worth of Tether. So over here you can see some other things that they have been going on with blockchain. But if you go on the second page, you can see over here that they printed another 100 million tokens here, 100 million here, and they have been printing 100 million tokens over here for like 10 times in a row. So this problem will just continue to get bigger and bigger, and there is no solution in sight. Now, why do I think Tether is such a huge problem? If we just ignore the inflation that is happening like 10,000% per year, and we focus on if they actually have those dollars in bank somewhere. So, if everybody would just want to sell that Tether to them, to the creators of the Tether, you can't do that. Now, they said that they actually have $1 for every Tether printed in a bank account, but they didn't show us any proof of that. Now I could also say that I have $1 in my bank account for every maybe like devil's coin that I decide to print, and I just print 100 million of them, and then I could say, well, if you wanna convert that devil's coins back into US dollars, I have $1 for every devil's coin. But if I don't have that and people don't decide to exchange them for US dollars, then they wouldn't even know that there was a problem, and I would be making like $100 million just like that. Every time I decided to print 100 million Devil's coins, I would just make $100 million out of nothing. And that is the same thing that it is happening with Tether. They don't have any proof of their funds, and they don't have any proof that this is actually a legit thing. And Tether is the biggest scam going on right now. This is my personal opinion, and I don't think that Tether will last for a lot longer. Now, if you don't want to lose a lot of money when the market starts to crash and when all the coins are going down 10 or 20% per day, and you decide to Tether up, you are doing that on your own risk, and I think that everybody should research Tether a little bit more until they can see that Tether is most likely a scam. Now, this is my opinion. We are going to see what happens with Tether in the next year or two, but Tether won't last long. So, thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments, and if you actually think that is a legit business or if it is just a scam. So see you soon in another one, and bye.